Good morning, dear children. Welcome back to our chemistry class. The last class, we started the chapter Garbage in, Garbage out. Let's continue the chapter. You all know what is meant by garbage. You also know that we all produce garbage every day. The amount of garbage increases day by day. And as population is increasing, the garbage produced also increases. You all know that untreated garbage is a serious issue. It may cause several diseases and are harmful to us. So what can be done? Before discussing what can be done, tell me, what do you do with the garbage in your house? Yes, most of you used to burn the garbage in your house. Of course, it is a convenient way of disposing garbage. When we burn waste, the quantity of the waste decreases. And also, it takes less time. So, we can dispose the garbage in less time by burning it. And not only that, after burning, it produces ash which does not produce smell like the garbage kept open. But is there any problem with burning of garbage? Yes.
What is it?
When we burn garbage, it produces a lot of poisonous gases. Some of the gases causes respiratory disease. Even some may cause cancer-like diseases. And not only that, the residues formed after burning also may contain certain poisonous substances which get mixed with the soil and causes harm to plants and other living beings. So it is not comfortable to burn garbage.
Even though it has certain advantages, the disadvantages are more when compared to
advantage. So it is never recommended to burn garbage. So what can be done? There should be some way in which we have to deal with garbage. Let's see. All garbage are not alike. So we have to use different methods for different garbages. First of all, let's discuss about biodegradable garbage. You all know what is meant by biodegradable substances. The substances which decompose by the action of microorganisms like bacteria are termed as biodegradable substances. Can you suggest a way in which we can deal with these biodegradable substances? Yes, you are right. Composting. What is composting? Producing manure from biodegradable waste is termed as composting. For composting, we dig the biodegradable waste like food waste, vegetable waste, fruit waste, etc. in the soil. Within 3 to 4 weeks, it becomes a part of the soil, and this soil is rich in nutrients
which helps in the growth of plants.
So it is called as compost. That process is termed as composting. And it is the best way to deal with biodegradable substances. It not only is a method to deal with biodegradable substance, but also it gives manure for the growth of plants. So it helps the farmers also. Can we do something to fasten the formation of compost? Yes, we can. For that, we use the method called vermicomposting. Do you know what is vermicomposting? Vermicomposting is the method of composting in which we get the help of red worms or red worms convert the biodegradable substances into compost. Let's see how vermicomposting is done.
Redworm is a type of earthworm used for vermicomposting. Earthworms are called farmer's friend. To start with vermicomposting, let's dig a pit about 30 cm deep on the ground, or keep a wooden box at a place which is neither too hot nor too cold. Choose a place which does not get direct sunlight. Let us now make a comfortable home for our red worms in the pit or the box. Spread a net or chicken mesh at the bottom of the pit or the box. You may also spread 1 or 2 cm thick layer of sand as an alternative. Now spread some vegetable waste including peels of fruits over this layer of sand. One can also use green leaves, pieces of dried stalks and plants, husk or pieces of newspapers or cardboard to spread over the layer of sand. However, shiny or plastic coated paper should not be used for this purpose. Now sprinkle some water to make this layer wet. Take care not to use excess of water. Do not press the layer of waste. Now our pit is ready to welcome the red worms. Buy some red worms and put them in your pit. Cover them loosely with a gunny bag or an old sheet of cloth or a layer of grass. Our red worms need food. We can give them vegetables and fruit waste, coffee and tea remains, and weeds from the fields of garden. It might be a good idea to bury this food about 2 to 3 centimeters inside the pit. Do not use waste that may contain salt, pickles, oil, vinegar, meat, milk as food for your red worms. If you put these things in the pit, disease-causing small organisms start growing in the pit. Red worms do not have teeth. They have a structure called gizzard, which help them in grinding their food. Powdered eggshells or seashells could be mixed with the waste. This would help red worms in grinding their food. A red worm can eat food equal to its own weight in a day. Red worms do not survive in very hot or very cold surroundings. They also need moisture around them. If you take good care of your red worms, in a month's time their number will double. Once in a few days, gently mix and move the top layer of your pit. Observe the contents of the pit carefully after 3 to 4 weeks. We can observe loose soil-like material in the pit. Our vermicompost is ready now. Put some waste as food in one corner of the pit. Most of the worms will shift towards this part of the pit, vacating the other parts. Remove the compost from the vacated part and dry it in the sun for few hours. Our vermicompost is ready for use. The part left in the pit has most of the worms in it. We can use these for preparing more compost or share them with other users. Vermicompost is excellent manure and is also cost effective. It can be used in our pots, gardens or fields.
So dear children, in this session we learned about dealing with biodegradable garbage. We learned composting as well as vermicomposting. So dear children, read the textbook and learn well. Thank you.